Hi guys, this is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and today I'm going to walk you through a tutorial on how to make a cute little bracelet such as this one with beads that I received from BB Crafts. If you saw my previous video, you may have seen the haul that I did where I received a kit containing these adorable beads and charms. And I was so happy to be able to make a little bracelet and learn how to make it because it is the first one that I've made. It may not be perfect, but I had tons of fun. I could see how relaxing it is to make jewelry. So I'm going to walk you through the items that I used. And I wanted to let you know I did learn since that video that this is called a drum bead here. And what I did was that I used a jump ring to attach this little key. It does measure 1/2 inch. To that drum bead, and that allowed me to put it on the bracelet. I also used these faceted peach beads from that collection, as well as this bead here that I compared to a disco ball, but I just thought it was really darling. It's very shimmery. I used, as you can tell, a couple of the silver beads there, and these were the smaller of the two sizes. And then some frosted clear glass beads here. I used the spacers that were in the shape of a flower, as well as the regular spacers there that are really pretty also. And then I used some of the peach frosted beads there. And they are all very lovely. I thought this came out so cute. And I have a very small wrist, so what I did was that I used the stretchy cord here, which is called Strong and Stretchy, as you can tell there. And what I did was that I wrapped this around my wrist and I multiplied that by 2. Now, as I said, I have a very tiny wrist, so I'm going to show you what this measures out to be. Now, if I measure that out and I just pinch it there, you're going to see that this measures out to be about 7.5 inches, and of course, I'll cut away anything that I don't need from that. But I wanted this to be nice and substantial or sturdy because this is a stretchy cord. What I did was that I doubled it up. So I guess you would need about 15 inches worth of this for a small wrist. And of course, depending on the size of your wrist, you would adjust the length of that. To grab some sharp ones, and I cut off what I need there. And as you can tell, this spool has tons left over. So what's great about this is that you could use this in a group if you wanted to. Share it with your friends, make several, or if you like to gift items such as these, then you're gonna have plenty there to work with. I wanted to make sure that it was a monochromatic bracelet. I prefer to do that because to me that just looks nicer. I'm not a person to match too many colors. If anyone who knows me in my personal life, they would tell you, yeah, she's quite, plain Jane. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with 4 of those since I've already made one. And I'm going to probably want to repeat that. Now, this kit came with 40 of these clear beads and then 40 of the faceted clear beads. So I knew that that was going to be a good quantity to add multiples of right away. So I did use the peach ones before. This time I want to use the blue. There's pretty much my selection there, more or less. I want to start off with the charms. So that's where I started off with the previous bracelet. And what I did was that I used some head pins that I purchased. Now this is just my own personal purchase, but they are available at BB Crafts. And they're available in different colors, different finishes. So depending on what you like, if you like silver or gold, you're gonna have options there, okay? So what I did was that I selected 2 of those and I started feeding these into the beads, but before doing so, I wanted to make sure, if you see the bottom here, that's just a flat pin, and these come in a variety of finishes there in terms of the end of that. I just picked some plain ones. What I did was that I started off with a spacer bead at the bottom because I like the way that looked, and that's this spacer bead here. I fed that through, let's see here. Okay, so I fed that through first. Then I placed my silver bead, and then I placed my faceted bead. Here we go. All right, so I did those 2. And then I did another spacer bead, okay, one of those, and then another silver one of the little dangles. And I like the way that that looks, so I'm going to use the pliers. Now it did come with this set of pliers here, and this does have some teeth to it, and I didn't want to leave any indentations on that wire, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use some different tools. And I had a really sweet neighbor give me some of these because she said she's no longer doing jewelry making and she was going to do a destash, so she just gave them to me, and I thought that was really nice of her. So what I'm going to use is this plier here, and this is just one of mine that I've had for many, many years. And the reason I'm using it is because it is a flat surface there. It doesn't have any grooves on it, and all I'm going to do is just bend this, and I probably could have gone higher with that, but I'm going to cut that because I don't need the entire length of it. And I'm going to see how well I can do this on camera. Okay, and then I'm going to take this rounded plier, and the reason I'm using this is because it's circular in shape, and that's exactly the shape that I want to give to this wire. So I'm going to start at that little tail end that I had cut off, and I'm just going to go right around the plier, and I'm going to repeat that. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm hoping that this will focus. Here we go. And I'm just repeating that movement, and I'm not sure if this is going to be perfect, but we'll see here. I'm pulling on it a little bit, and that's okay. So that's my result here. There we go. All right, so I've got one of my charms, and I'm happy with that result. Then I'm going to make another one. Okay, to get the bracelet started, in your kit you would have received the needle here, and what's really neat about this is that it allows you to thread right in between it the cord that you're going to use. Now again, I doubled mine up, so I'm going to grab the tails and I'm going to feed these through this needle here, like so. And I'm going to use it just as a regular thread, pulling that taut. Okay, and then I'm going to start threading my beads through. So I'm going to start with these 4, and what I'll do is, just as I did before, in between each one of those I'm going to place a spacer, because I think that's going to make it look really pretty. So I'm just going to grab as many as I need there, and after each of those frosted beads I'm introducing a spacer. This will help me remember that I'm doing a pattern by having those separate, as you would, there we go, if you were sewing. You're just introducing that into the bead, and you start seeing your pattern there. So I've got that one, and one more, like that. And here, you can finish it with either one, but I decided this one I'm just going to keep it real simple, so I'm going to keep it all with these little spacers here. So now I'm going to move on to a frosted blue bead, like that, and I'm going to do this same process here. You can feed that string all the way through. So there's this next one. Okay, so see that? Now here's my string. I'm going to start pulling that and I'm going to be able to pull it all the way through. And you can start by pulling those bottom beads first if you want to, so that you're not pulling too hard on that string. And that's how you're going to start feeding that. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only way that you can do it, but it's just the way that I started it off. And you start seeing that bracelet taking shape, and I just try to remember to pull back on this a little bit to keep it on that needle. And now, if you like your pattern, you can continue on with it, or you can change it up, of course. What I did with the previous one was that I started introducing the faceted beads. So I think that's what I'm going to do again here. Okay, so here I'm just going to close up that jump ring. As you can see, I've placed it in there. All right, so close that one up. There we go. So you can see there what that looks like. I've just added a jump ring to that one, as well as this one here. Okay, so now I'm going to feed these through my bracelet just by feeding the jump ring through. I'm going to do the drum bead next. And then my next charm. Like so. Okay. And I like the way that looks. And now I'm going to continue on, let's see here, with another spacer. So I'm going to repeat the pattern. And another frosted bead. Like that. Okay, now that way I have basically the same colors here on both sides of those charms. And now I can continue on either with the same pattern, or I can break it up again. It doesn't really matter. So I think what I'm going to do is introduce spacer, then the faceted bead, if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, like that. And I'm going to introduce, let's see here, maybe and here what you want to make sure you do is that you tie a knot to finish this off. Now, I don't have very strong hands, so I have to be kind of careful how I hold this, but it's going to be just a regular knot, or square knot if you want to call it that. And I'm just going to pull it and make sure that I tie it. And it's a little bit difficult to show on camera here, so bear with me because I'm having trouble seeing. Here we go. All right. So there's one knot. You can pull taut, but not too strong because it will snap your threads. Okay. Ask me how I know. And then I'm going to tie my second one, and my hands are slipping, but here we go. My second knot there. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to pull, get those little threads there, make my knot, and then pull again and make my fourth knot. I think with 4 I'm going to be okay, because that's what I did on the other one. Okay, let's try one more time. Strings are in there, in that knot. Here we go. Alright, here we go. So I've pulled it nice and tight. Now I can take my scissors and get down close to that knot, not too close because you don't want to cut it at this point. I'm going to go down there, cut that string, and then these two guys. Pull on it a little bit there. And then cut that string. You'll be left with that. But if you are gentle enough, you can start pulling it really gently and try to get it inside of the bead. I surpassed it there, but you get what I'm saying. Let me see if I can do it this way. Just pull very gently because you don't want to snap it. There we go. Now it's inside of the bead. You can't see the knot. Here are the charms. Okay. And let's see if it fits. And it does. It's got all of the beads there, as you can tell. It's got the charms. And I think it looks really cute. It's got some color and it's also got the frosted beads that I like there. And you can pair it up with another bracelet. You can wear it on its own. You know, you can have lots of fun with these, just making it your own. And of course, as you go along, you keep learning. That's what I've done. I've learned that there are a couple things here that I'm going to have to be careful of. Number one, I'm going to have to get another one of these guys. I accidentally did split it there, but I'll see if I can fix that with some glossy accents or something. I'm not sure, but I accidentally pulled on it. So this is quite delicate, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. But I'm happy with the result. I love the beads and the charms. They're actually good quality. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. And with the price for this entire kit, as you can tell, I mean, there are so many. I'm going to show you here how many beads are still left. There's so many. And of course, I added a few of my own there. But as you can tell here, there's plenty of material here to make many more. It can be lots of fun to either include in Happy Mail or just surprise a good friend that maybe you haven't seen in a while, or a sister or your mom, any occasion really. There's never a bad occasion to receive jewelry, I know that. So to give it should be just as fun. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video tutorial. Please let me know your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed, do it now, and that way you get to see more videos such as these, and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video is coming. And I hope that I see you guys back here in my next video with more tutorials with the items from BB Crafts. And of course, as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. Thank you so much for watching.